prediction market, Kalshi, just out with some news right now. That is that Donald Trump Jr. is joining the company as an advisor. Here with us right now on set is Kalshi co-founder and CEO Tarek Mansour. Great to see you this
Thanks
morning.
for having me. Great seeing you.
There's a lot to talk about and unpack here, but talk about Donald Trump Jr. How did this come about?
Well, I think it's interesting. I mean, as everyone's seen, Kalshi over the last few months, so we first legalized election markets, and then we absolutely exploded. So our user base has grown by 100x. We onboarded millions of customers and have taken the notion of prediction markets mainstream. So now people are talking about prediction markets in a way they didn't a few years ago. And the interesting thing about, Don has always been at the forefront of these types of spaces and new technologies. He's always been very in tune with what the American people feel and want. And he understands kind of this notion that people have been ready to fire the traditional institutions and authorities, and basically got tired of fake news, I think, and that's why they're going to Twitter, and that's why they're going to prediction markets. And I can't think of anyone else who would be better to help us promote the vision of prediction markets and what they can do for society.
Let me ask you a question. How much of this is about long-term trying to make this, you talk about legalizing the prediction markets in this country, how much of this is an effort at that in a much bigger way?
I don't think we have thought about that at all. I mean, prediction markets are legal. We've legalized them last October. I mean, that's done. And that's why we've exploded. That's why we've, millions of Americans, as we speak, are actually betting on, we have 983 markets live right now. A lot of them are actually about the upcoming inauguration. Who's going to attend? Is AOC going to be there? How many people will attend? Is he going to buy Greenland? And a variety of other things.
So you're not, there's no regulatory issue here for you?
We don't have any regulatory issues. We're actually a regulated company.
Right.
I mean, our whole strategy up front was like America first, regulated first. We spent years getting it regulated and legalized before we listed a single market. And we did. We legalized the whole space, and we've been working with regulators constructively to expand it.
Well, that's what I'm asking about, the expansion.
Oh, yeah, we have an incredibly aggressive expansion plan.
Right. No. The reason I ask this, obviously, is there's two related issues. One is that Don Jr. on one end could be very helpful to you in terms of how you're thinking about the business and all of those things, and I'll grant you that. There's two secondary issues, and it's about the perception, right? One is you're in the prediction market as it relates to elections. Being in business with the son of the president of the United States creates its own complications. I hope you'd grant me that, right, on some end. Do you have a Democrat, for example, that's in this kind of advisory role as well, that's super prominent?
Yeah, well, I think we're not a political company in any way, shape, or form. I mean, what we're really focused on is building the mission of prediction markets, and we basically welcome and will onboard anyone who's basically willing to come and promote the mission of prediction markets. We always asked them, during the elections, right, people were like, when the Trump odds were up, people were saying we're, a Republican company, and when Harris odds were up, people were saying we're a Democrat company. And actually, we're super simple. We're a company that's deeply obsessed about building a great prediction market that brings more truth to the world.
Right.
And hopefully, these prediction markets, keep working.
But how do you think about the perception issue? And the reason I ask you is because you're directly related to elections. Amazon, some people looked at Amazon's decision to buy Melania Trump's documentary, for example, and to pay the First Lady money was an effort to curry favor with the president.
The actual honest answer, I don't really think about perception issues. I just think about what our customers want and what kind of products I need to be building for them. I'm actually thinking right now, what are the types of bets that we should be listing for Joe over the next few weeks? We can actually do that now. If you tell me whatever you want to list, we can list them now. We are listing at a rate, like we can now list, and that's the types of things I'm focusing on, is like our first set of markets took us 1.5 years to list. Now we list within 24 hours. Right. And that's shrinking. So actually, every week we're tracking that metric. Now we can list at like 23 hours, 22 hours. And, we have 983 bets live right now.
What are the most popular bets? I mean, outside of politics, I would assume that goes first. But what else draws the biggest number of bettors?
That's a good question. So politics is obviously very large. I think we have markets now around culture. So who's going to top the Spotify charts? Who's basically going to top Billboard? Who's going to release an album this year? Those are actually growing exponentially. Those are growing, and really, it's been really shocking. I mean, because people have been asking us, like, since the election, how our volume, etc. Actually, our volume this month is tracking to be higher than October. It's been sticking incredibly because people have been educated to this notion, and they're really betting on really anything. I mean, all these types of questions are out there in the wild that people are interested in. TikTok being banned, is extremely hot topic right now.
And where does the betting line come down on TikTok?
I have to check this one. I think we're at 70%, 80% now.
But being banned?
Yeah, at least the Supreme Court
go through,
hearing. Yeah.
I'm surprised that I apologize for going back to it on just the perception issues. Given that you're involved in the elections, you know, there was a period of time where I think people were questioning Polymarket because they thought that, you know, Peter Thiel had a stake in it or something like that.
Yeah, they were rigging it to look like Trump might win.
No. I'm just saying, look, you know, we've talked for the last 4 years about, you know, Hunter Biden getting different business deals while, you know, his father was the president. So I can't imagine you have not considered this at all.
I honestly think I just believe in doing the right thing. I mean, I think, like, you know, again, like looking at the history of the company, right? We could have listed the election market before. We chose not to. We chose to legalize it, go the right way, make it legal for Americans, and do it, you know, through the front door, and do it the right way. And actually, like, what's happening right now is, and you kind of asked about competition, right? And this is kind of another question, like, yeah, there's going to be more competition in this space. You know, people are going to follow this. Like, they've seen the success that we've had over the election.
Well, let me ask you a very direct business question. The distinction between what you do, what Polymarket does, is there any anxiety that this becomes a commoditized business, that if everyone can effectively bet on all of this stuff in different ways, but the same types of questions, how does it change?
My expectation for the future is that there are going to be, it's like anything, right? Something goes really successful, there's going to be a lot of people that will follow. So we've paved the way, we've legalized election markets and actually broader prediction markets in the U.S., and we expect and actually hope for more competition. We hope more people follow, and more people will follow. That's our prediction. But we're squarely in the lead. We have, you know, built 5 years of a very strong moat as a company. We're extremely well positioned, and, you know, again, in terms of our ability to list new markets, we're basically unmatched today. And so we basically expect to basically keep winning in this space.
I think, Andrew, is asking, if Donald Trump wasn't president, you wouldn't be bringing Donald Trump Jr. on, would you?
I don't necessarily think that's true. No.
Oh, I think that's probably true. Would you?
That's your opinion.
You know, Hunter Biden is available. I still don't think you're bringing him on.
I think Don Jr. has been having a very consistent message over the last more than a decade, actually.
Really?
Speaking directly to American people, being on Twitter, having a very direct message around truth is extremely important as a mission.
Donald Trump Jr. has.
Well, he's been very, very vocal over the last few years around.
I don't think I don't follow him. I don't think, but that's interesting.